Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I fucking love podcasting. What can I say? Today's podcast is going to be about external versus internal answers. And I want to talk about this especially because in the marketing space, there so often is a like, oh, this is going to solve your problem kind of vibe. And while sometimes things external to you can help, mainly those things that are external to you are tools. What's really going to help you shift through issues, problems, circumstances and or situations that you're having, what's really going to help you walk through those situations is you. That's the internal you. You, not so-and-so, not this method, not this product, not that thing over there in the corner, in the dark. No, you. And that's why I was so vehemently, I guess you could say, motivated to get my NLP certification, because NLP actually helps you understand the tools to regulate yourself internally and to increase your internal belief within yourself. And I'm never going to forget, there was a day in 2020, I had met someone through a mastermind. It was the mastermind where everybody was selling to each other. And what she said to me was, the answer is not external to you. You are the answer. You hold all of the answers. It's in you. And I was like, yeah, okay. She was right. So I want to go over the external versus the internal answers with you today, because really you have your answers. You have them. So I want to help you uncover them. So just like my episodes lately, I have my structure. I'm really excited to go through it because I know when I am in my structure, it is like my race plan. The race is going to go exactly according to plan. Okay. First things first, marketing is so good nowadays that there are people who are going to make you think that you are going to need help with certain things. And they're also going to make you think that they can help you with the intuitive and internal shifts. And they're not actually trained to be able to help clients go through those exercises. I know this because I signed up for one of those coaches earlier on this year, and her response to someone in the program who was walking through a difficult mindset at that time was, did you watch the modules? I'm gonna be honest, as somebody who has an NLP certification, if I hear a coach say, turn around and say to a client, did you watch the modules? I'm gonna go off on you real fast, okay? The modules are not an external education, okay? The answer is not an external education. They're never gonna find the answer in external education. If someone is going through a hard time, if someone is struggling mentally, emotionally, internally, what is going on is something within them. Okay? Something beneath the surface. And telling people to go back to the surface is counterintuitive. Opposite of what you want to actually be doing. Yes, I'm kind of screaming into the mic because this is so important. If someone is having a mindset difficulty, we have to go to the root of that. We have to go inward. We don't focus on the outward education, babe. Okay? All right. Thanks for hopping on the train with me. We got to go in. We got to be able to see what's going on within you. We have to be able to break the barrier, and we have to be able to see and heal what's going on internally. Because that's the only way that you're ever going to be able to break through. You have to go within before you can go without. Okay? Okay. Now, modules are not the answer. And it further solidifies the thinking when somebody says, did you watch the modules? It further solidifies that the answer is external to your client. If you really want to help your client, walk them through something like a single belief change exercise. And if you as a coach do not know how to do that for your client, and if you're making the money that you say you are making, spend some time to go get an FN certification. If you're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 months, and you have clients that struggle with mindset, if you're making that much money, how come you have not gotten your NLP certification yet? Start to ask better questions. Start to ask better questions. I'm going to put that right here on this podcast. When you start to ask better questions, you're going to start to see things in a different light. You are going to start to raise your energy to a different level than you ever would have thought capable before. And you are going to be able to see through the bullshit that so many people are slinging on the internet. It is unreal to me, the amount of bullshit that still exists within the internet. And just the fact that this literally happened in 2024, when somebody said to this coach that I had hired, and it makes me so like, what was I thinking? How could I possibly fall for that? To hear that somebody said to this coach, I'm struggling with something emotionally and in my mindset. Can you help me work through this? And she turns around and says, did you watch the modules? Are you off your fucking rocker? If the modules aren't going to help me through this, this is something that I have never experienced before. Maybe I have experienced it in the past and I haven't experienced it up until this point. Can you please help me work through it? And if you are not capable, fuck off. Big old red flag. That's what I got to say about that. Drop It Like It's Hot 2024. Leading me to my next point. Thinking that someone outside of you has the answers to how you are going to make more money by signing up for their course will not actually help you attract more clients or make more sales. The answer is not the person external to you. The answer is yourself. I have legitimately, and I shit you not, I have legitimately done this for the last 4 years, and I was not seeing any progress until I actually started to work on my own beliefs. It wasn't until I started to see myself differently that things external to me started to change. You are a goddamn mirror, okay? I hope I can help you see this. You are a mirror, and until you do the work inside of you, the stuff outside of you is going to reflect the same thing. I said this on a podcast that I had with a guest recently. We're like trees. All of us are like effing trees, okay? We have roots that extend deep into the ground. They're in darkness. We also have branches that extend high up into the light, into the sun. And if we're an apple tree, the only way we can create an apple on our branches is if we get nutrients and we get water and we get adequate amounts of sunlight to help us to be able to produce the fruit. Money is a fruit. Money is the fruit. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Money is the fruit. Money is the fruit. The apple, if you have sufficient nutrients, plenty of water, and enough sunlight, apples, they're going to come so quickly and so easily. You're going to have so many apples on your tree. You're going to have bushels of apples for days. You could probably make apple pie. You can make apple jam. You can make apple strudel. You can make apple danishes. Doesn't matter. You're going to have so many apples, you're not going to know what to do with yourself, right? That's because you are feeding yourself the right things inside of the trunk and inside of your roots to be able to give you the energy to sufficiently create an apple. Money's the same way. If you are not giving yourself the sufficient energy, if you are withholding the sufficient nutrients, it's going to be so difficult for you to see money as an external reward. I shit you not. I've done this for 4 years and I have tried every single thing in the book. If you are not working on yourself first, the money's never going to come. The work has to be done within you first. You get to work on your subconscious and get it on board so that you are acting from a place of I am capable, I am good enough, and I am worthy of this money. The only way you are going to be able to reach those goals that you have for yourself is when your whole self is on board. The mind is a very vast playground. Okay. I was having a conversation with a friend, a really good friend, and she was telling me that her sister thinks, I don't know what just dropped on the floor. She was telling me that her sister thinks that I'm a cult leader because the subconscious is a thing and beliefs are a thing. And so according to her sister, apparently, you don't need to have belief in yourself, and the subconscious mind doesn't exist. And why would those things have anything to do with business? What? Like, are you kidding me? It was the best hate comment I think I've ever received, for someone to say that I have so much charisma within myself and so much charisma in what I do that I am a cult leader. That is the best compliment I think that I've ever gotten. Thank you. I digress. My point being, when you start to believe in yourself, that is when the world will start to open up for you. So now this leads me to my third point for this podcast. For you to make the sales to bring in the money into your business, as well as have the net worth that you are looking for in order for you to achieve the financial freedom goals that you have, it requires subconscious reprogramming. In other words, it requires getting the answer from within. How do you know that? How do you start to do that? How do you start to do that? Subliminals and hypnoses. And if you're looking for personalized subliminals and hypnoses, I offer bundles for one-on-one packages. That is definitely something that we could do. Or even I include your astrology. We could work on all that stuff. My point is, for you to get the answer that you are looking for, it requires reinforcement. And it requires reinforcement more times than you think it requires reinforcement. This is making me think about a whole new episode on command tonality that your girl wants to go off on right now. If you are ready to reinforce supportive subconscious programming, if you are ready to create a supportive financial blueprint for yourself as an individual, as well as for yourself as a business owner, the time is now. Grab the Fire Sign audio bundle, get yourself a 6-session package bundle. You're going to be able to go through probably creating achievable outcomes, probably single belief change. We're going to work on creating personalized, individualized, tailored hypnoses and subliminals specific for you. And you are going to start to see changes that you never even thought were possible. I poop you not. The day that I started to prioritize my energy and the day that I started to get back into my subconscious and tuning into music and subliminals that supported me on this journey, was the day that everything changed. Everything changed. And people tell me about it on the daily. You're vibrant. You're radiant. I don't know what you did, and I want to be more like you. I hear you catching your language. I hear you catching yourself say this word and changing it in an instant into this word. I want to be able to do the same things. You're an NLP wizard. Those things don't happen overnight. Those things have happened over the course of the last 18 months. And at this point, currently, right now, after me pitching you my offers, I can tell you with complete certainty, understanding my mind, understanding my beliefs, understanding my limiting beliefs, and understanding how to overcome them with subliminals and hypnoses and my own astrology has helped me get to the point where I feel so effing convicted in what I do that people think I'm a cult leader. I'm not. I don't have a Netflix documentary about me, but it's fucking cool that people think that I have that much charisma. I digress. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to reinforce so much that the subconscious work is a choice, and it's like opening yourself up to the matrix. You get to choose if you want to take the red pill or the blue pill, and if you want to commit to this, and if you're ready to commit to this. And I want you to know that when you choose to commit to this, your entire world is going to change. Your entire world is going to shift. And it's going to shift for the better. So I am very excited for you to tag me in your takeaways. I'm very excited to hear about what you've got out of this episode. This was a big episode to me. I really enjoyed putting this structure together, and I also really enjoyed recording this episode. So I want to hear about what your experiences were listening to it, and if you have time for a review, I would love if you could rate and review the podcast. It helps rank the podcast so that new listeners can find my episodes. I want to thank you so much for tuning in,